Oh, look at the buffeting on that. Whoa, I'm not touching that. Hello everybody, welcome to Chaz Draycott Media and welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're on the ground at Gardermoen in Oslo and the gorgeous Norwegian 737 is sat in front of us. Lima, November Golf Mike for another charter here today. Thanks very much Graham Waters for chartering this one today. We are going to be, I can't remember what it's called actually, it's NOZ, Red Nose? Or is it Norshuttle? Oh, I'm going to have to check. Nordic is the call sign. Okay, so at least I know that that's right now. So it's Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey today. We're going to be going from Oslo, Gardermoen, up to Kirkenes, which is really far up north. Let me show you. So we're starting down here at ENGM, and we're going all the way up north over Sweden and still into Norway, funnily enough. We're going over Sweden and Finland and ending up still in Norway up here. We're going to be on the Ribbe 6 Delta departure today, which goes out this way. We're going to be on the 19er right runway, turn back on ourselves, go all the way up north, get to Ribbe, then go all the way this way, and then into ENKR. Hopefully they've got an ILS. Yes, ILS runway 23. We're going to be coming in by Sivnu. Okay, we can do Dogod ILS. Okay, cool. It's a nice straightforward path. There's only 2 waypoints on the way up there, to be honest. A long old journey between them. Using my usual VATSIM scratch pad that I've got, you can download that from a link in the description, and I've got a Fly UK Aero checklist for the Boeing 737-800. I prefer it in this configuration, actually, when it's not got... Oh, excuse me. When it's not got the split scimitar winglets. I like it when they've just got these individual winglets on here. It looks mighty tasty. Hope it all looks okay and runs okay. I've, since the previous video, set my monitors to just 60 Hz now. Because I do so much broadcasting and recording in 60 FPS, I've basically set it all to 60 Hz. So now I'm telling it with VSync to give me 100% of the monitor refresh rate. And I think you'll agree, it looks absolutely fantastic, doesn't it? Into the cockpit then, and it is cold and dark in here. So we need to go through the checklist before we can get anyone boarded onto the aircraft. So we have the parking brake set, we need the battery guard closed, which brings everything on. Standby power is this one, we need to make sure that's sorted. Left aft fuel pump needs to come on, and then we will start the APU today. There we go. Okay, so we should be able to get the transfer from that in just a moment. This little blue thing will light up here. This little dial here, look, will go back down to 4. It'll go down to about 4, and then that'll light up blue. There we go. Okay, so now everything's powered off the APU inside the aircraft. Lovely news. Right then, that means we need to get our position lights to steady, which they are on. Logo light will pop on. Cabin lights are just as required. Emergency exits, guard closed. Passenger signs to the on position. Fasten seatbelt signs to auto. IRS mode selectors up there need to go to nav. That is all golden. And then it's just a case of setting the FMC. While that's happening though, I'm going to go to GSX and I'm going to get everybody to board the aircraft. We have the jetway already parked up next to us, so you know what that's all about. Should get a boarding requested message. We should hear the woman. I do have issues with it picking up GSX's audio, you know. Do we have boarding requested? I bet it's something, there's something about chocks or something like that. Let me check on the FMC just for a second. FS actions. Ground services. Yep, they're all set. Potable water connecting apparently. There we go. We had boarding requested. I don't know if you'll have heard that or not. Seems not, which is a bit of a shame. I was hoping to have that sorted, but for some reason at the moment it doesn't give me a audio output for GSX, and I don't know why. So let's go over to the flypad here. Let's go over to the EFB. Get that loaded in. Cool. So now it has all of the sim brief data. So we need to enter our IRS position. That in there. Cool. Okay. Index, we'll do a perf init request. Get that sorted first. What we also can do actually is if we go to route, we can go flight plan request. That one. Set payload, set fuel. That's where it does it. Select route. And then it's doing a flight plan request. It should be doing a perf init request, but I don't know if you can do both at the same time, so maybe I'm asking a bit much from it. Oh no, route uplink, there we go. Are we going to do it? Are you going to have it for me? Okay, now we can activate it, execute it. Cool, perf init request. Okay, so one then the other for that. We've got passengers boarding now, they're walking down here, look. I've got a GSX profile for this place, so that is working nice and fine. It doesn't look like we've got VSync on for some reason. Let me just check my graphics settings. VSync is on, and we've got 100% quality. Yeah, I don't know. Just seems like in moments like that there, it doesn't look like I've got much V-syncing going on my screen. It looks alright in the video preview anyway from what I can see, so I'm just gutted about not being able to hear GSX. I don't want to go on about it too much, but there's no chance for me to choose where the audio comes from. I did want to move the density up a little bit so we could make it faster. I forgot about that. There is also ignore crew boarding. Oh, what was it now? Good engine start confirmation. There we go. Apply. If I go to my volume mixer, yeah, QATL. Output device, that, and then that. Doesn't come up on OBS at all. Real shame. Anyway, we'll continue on with the FMC when I'm not being a moron and whinging about my audio. I will try and fix that at some point, but obviously today is not that day. 8.9 is the planned fuel for today. Has it set that in the aircraft down here? Yes, it has. That's cool. Have we got fuel in the central tank? We do. We've got a ton in there today. Let's get our departure and arrival in. So at ENGM, we are on the Ribber 6 Delta departure for runway 19 right. Cool. And then when we come to the arrival, we are landing... Oh god, I've got so many windows open. We are landing runway 23 on the Civnu 1 Quebec. So Civnu 1 Quebec, ILS 23, transition Dogod. Crack him. Okay, let's now go onto the legs page. Set this to plan. Put that to 40. And we'll have a quick look just to see how our plan looks, shall we, on here. We've got a long way between some of these. Civnu, there, Dogod. Oh, okay. Ah, so it's Dogod and then back on ourselves. What? So CF23 and FF23. Ah, so it's this way. I thought we were going this way and then that way. So what we actually do is we go in a straight line. We make our own way from Kiro to Dogod and then in. Right, okay, that makes more sense now. I did wonder. So what we can do is, I think we might have... Yes. Okay, so we'll move Dogod up to there. Put that in. And then as you can see now, we go in a straight line from Kiro, turn in at Dogod, and then in on CF. Okay, that is absolutely fine. Let's get some lighting on in here. Let's put some main panel brightness on there, and down here as well, you can put the panel brightness on at the bottom. For some reason, it's not scrolling very quickly. What I also want to do is connect to VPilot. So we're going to connect as Nose 5 Golf Whiskey. We are a Boeing 737-800 today, and we're going to connect up there. Let's just check that we are able to transmit. We want to be on 122. Oh god, pop that on there, and let's just check. Okay, so I've not set my push to talk. Okay, let's see if there's any aircraft about, shall we, while everyone continues to board.
Nordic 61 November, pushback gate 18.
Okay, so there is one other aircraft, and that pilot sounded very young indeed. Let's just get ourselves a quick radio check on the go, shall we? Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey radio check. Smashing. Roger that, thank you. That is what we want to hear. Okay.
Nordic 750 Foxtrot radio check.
5x5.
Thank you.
What else do we need to do now then? Transponder needs to be set. There's no ATC online or anything, so we need to set the transponder down here to be 2, 0, 0, 0. And then we'll put that to TA only, because why not? Does look like I've got no VSync on. It's really weird, but I think that's just frame rate in general at the moment. We want to set our IAS Mach speed. So we need to check what our speeds will be, actually. We need to do that, perf, don't we? So we need to go to index, takeoff. We're going to go flaps 5 for takeoff today. We'll get those in there. We'll do the centre of gravity. 5.45. So let's go down to the trim wheel and get scrolling. Okay, we'll take it about there. All good with that. And then we need to make sure that we have... Well, we've actually just put our takeoff speeds in, haven't we? So that's all good. What else do we need to sort out then? We need to make sure... Well, the aircraft knows what the departure is, so that's fine. The aircraft's got that in. So we need our IAS max speed, which is going to be V2, which is 148 today. Smashing. We want the takeoff runway heading, so let's just move that over a little bit. The runway heading is 192. That is in. Smashing. Let's just now put the flight directors on. Arm the auto throttle. VNAV. Great news. LNAV. Smashing news. Okay. Initial altitude. Let's check the departure chart, shall we? Initial climb clearance 7,000. Expect further climb by Oslo approach. So 7,000 is what we will go for with our initial climb. Happy. Cool. So after all that, we put the yaw damper on. Window heat. All these four at the top. That is smashing. Flight altitude set. We're going to be cruising at 37,000 feet today. And then the landing altitude, let's check at the other end. What is our elevation? It is 281. So let's set that to 300 feet, shall we? That's when the flight directors, LNAV and VNAV, come on at that point. Minimums ref, we're not going to bother with that. Altimeter ref, we need to actually sort out the HPA today, because as you can see, it thinks we're at 800 feet here. It is 1009er at the moment. I'm going to put that in HPA, and we need to actually zoom out a little bit, because it comes up as a tiny number down here. 1009er, and it measures, look, with the measures up with the radio calculation of altitude, which is that yellow bit there, so it knows that we're on the ground. I'll just confirm that for you, actually. Look, if you look on here, 1009er there on the QNH for Oslo. Auto brake we set to RTO at this point, and then we just make sure all the doors and everything are closed, and then we're ready for pushback. Pretty sure that... Oh, actually, no, the passengers are still boarding.
61 November, checking
they are taking a while.
Golf, November, holding at the holding point, 19 right.
The professionalism of some of these young pilots absolutely amazes me. It's brilliant. So we're just waiting for more passengers to get on now. They're taking their time because obviously the settings didn't change when I clicked apply earlier on. You have to reset the program for that, but gives us a chance for another beauty shot. Certainly a lovely day to go flying, isn't it? Nice and sunny out there. All looking fantastic. So we're going to be flaps 5 for takeoff today. Don't need to worry about doing anything else at this point. I'm just going to do a little bit of paperwork actually and write down some of this stuff on here. So for when we get into the other airport, we're going to be on runway 23. We're going to be via the Sivnu 1 Quebec arrival. And where are we going to push back from here at Oslo? Let's just check what we're going to push back onto, I should say, what taxiway, and then we can figure out our taxi route. We're going to push back onto Romeo. We're then going to go Papa, because we're on that right-hand runway there. We're going to go Romeo, Papa, November. Up here, Chaz. That's the right part of your own clipboard. And we're going to go up to holding point Alpha 9er for runway 19er right. Still passengers getting on. That'll tell us up there how many passengers we've got boarded, actually. What was that about?
Nordic 61 November, lining up at runway 19.
That doesn't help anyone, does it?
Right.
Let me check if I then need to do... Do I change that? Do I put the anti-alias into TAA? Everything looks a lot sharper, doesn't it? Let's see if we can read that a bit better now. It seems to be flying through it. That didn't help, did it?
Nordic 61 November, takeoff runway
172 out of 184. It does say it on there. I'm going to just quickly go back to the DLSS super resolution thing as well. So we'll just pop that back on, shall we? Don't think that affects anything like my screens or anything like that. Seems to make things a bit softer, but I don't know. It is what it is. I've got a card that's capable of doing it, so I may as well use that, hadn't I? I never put packs to auto or high in here earlier on, which we very much should have done. Going to keep my eye on the audio for when the bong from GSX comes in. Didn't seem like anything came out on any of these. The bong just happened then, just for your information. It's really frustrating. Oh well, it is what it is at this point. I'm sorry that you couldn't hear any of that. It's frustrating for me, but it's one of those things. Okay, so we're going to be ready for pushback now. So we're going to be pushing back to the right. So before pushback, we need to make sure that we have the auto brake to RTO. Comms and radios are all set. We're on the right frequency and the doors are closed. So let's get rid of... Let's get rid of the jetway. It should bugger off. The PMDG stairs are still here. That's why it looks a bit weird. Yeah, so the startup state is cold and dark. How do we get the stairs? So I've got the startup state as my one, CDM, which I've set up. Let me go to FS Actions. Portable water we want to get rid of. Stairs release. Packs entry. Jetway preferred. And then do we need to save state and then save it as CDM? Oh, but now is that like running with all the stairs and stuff? I'll figure that out another time, because I did have on my old setup for this aircraft, I had a sort of CDM no stairs name for it, but that's fine. We'll prepare for pushback and departure now then, so we'll whack the beacon light on up here, the anti-collision light. What else do we need to do before we do that? Before start checklist, auto throttle is armed, left, right, centre fuel pumps. We need those on as well because there's fuel in the central pumps. Electric hydraulic pumps come on. Anti-collision light goes on. I really wish you could hear this, guys. Just said we're ready for pushback. Okay, everything all good there. Gardermoen and traffic. Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey preparing to push back from stand 7-3. Gardermoen. We've still got some flipping stairs attached to the back of the aircraft. Is that on here? No. Yeah, look, entry 2 left, close. Yeah, I hope so. He's just said locking gear. Okay, those stairs are going away now. That's something that I'll have to set up within the PMDG 737 in time. It's all stuff that it's easy to forget. Okay, lifting the front of the aircraft up. Anything else that we need to do beforehand? No, we just need to have the secondary display unit to that. Oh, okay, so I read about this. Straight position 1 is where we need to go. And then we turn right. So it doesn't turn you on a 90-degree thing. I've said straight position 1.
Gardermoen traffic, Nordic 750 Foxtrot entering runway 19er left via Bravo 8 following departure.
Do you want me to take the parking brake off now then, or what? Is it waiting for the stairs or something? Oh, you know what this is, don't you? This always happens. He's just said release parking brakes. Okay. So, packs go off. We put the APU bleed on. We put the engine start switch for engine start switch 1 into ground, not continuous. Smash in. Get rid of the master caution. Secondary display unit is down here. Let's get that to 1. It's on 1. Let's put some fuel in. Not very far pushback, is it? Okay. Engine is good to go. It's switched over, so let's go ground for engine number 2. And let's pop some fuel into it when it gets to 1 anyway. God, Chaz, stop getting ahead of yourself. 1. There we go. Fuel. Okay, he's just said left is clear, right is clear. So we need to now, before taxi, just turn the generators 1 and 2 on. So generator 1, generator 2. Pro peak goes on, which is up here. Then we have wing anti-ice, engine anti-ice, packs go into auto. We then put the isolation valve into auto. APU bleed comes off. APU then comes off as well. And then we have the engine start switches going into continuous. Flaps as required. We're going to do that manually in the aircraft. I said this last time, that basically if I put it down 2 notches on my Airbus controls that I've got here, it goes down to 10. So I want it on 5. So that's 1, 2, 5, smashing news. And then we have the elevator trim, which is set. Wants us to verify the takeoff speeds, so we'll go into init ref, index, takeoff, boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much, plane, appreciate you. Jesus, that's loud, reminding me of that. Then it's just taxi lights and runway turn-offs as required, so taxi light on, and we'll let Gardermo and traffic know exactly what our plan is. Gardermo and traffic, Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey, taxiing holding point Alpha 9, runway 19 right, via Romeo, Papa, November. Gardermoen. Parking brakes coming off. And let's move, shall we? Thanks once again, Graham Waters, for chartering another flight for the channel. Always a pleasure. Graham has chartered a few flights for us here on Flight Sim. And it's good to be back again in the 737. 2 flights in a row now in this thing. Hoping to get a little bit better at it. So we're going to go right here. This is Romeo. We're going to get all the way over to this yellow line here. Crazy how it works here at Oslo. So let me just show you the plan. I'm going to go on to Romeo, then Papa, and then November. So in both occasions it's our first turning. Yeah, hopefully everything runs nice and smoothly. Like I've said, I've got it running in 60 FPS as opposed to trying to get the monitors to do 100 as I had in the past with the game set at like 50. So now the monitors are at 60, the game is also at 60. And fingers crossed it works better as a result of that. So Papa, turning left here, and then we go all the way down here to November. There's some Norse 787s over on our right hand side there, look. Those wagons parked up, probably for maintenance or something. No other aircraft near us from what I can see. No one at any of those gates either by the look of it. Let's do some more checks and things, shall we? So now we are on our way. Actually, you know what, we'll come to a stop at Alpha 9 and just do all of our checks there. Okay, and here we go, getting to November now, so it's this next right turn. And we'll swoop around, and then we've got a long taxi all the way down to the end of runway 19 right. I just want to take full length of the runway, because why not? Rather get full length of the thing than not use enough of it. You can calculate performance to be from a shorter distance, but I'd rather have it from all the way down there. I specifically remember when Drew and I had performance from a shorter taxiway join, essentially, a shorter intersection, and we asked the tower for it and they said yeah, do what you want. But round here we're just going to go full length.
Traffic, this is Charlie from for Golf at Tikla for ILS 19 right.
So there's someone on 19 right. There's a Norwegian Air Force Hercules over there. How cool is that? Not the first time we've seen a military aircraft at another airport. Oh, there's a few. Oh, and a C-17. Look at that. It's a US Air Force C-17 that's based up here in Scandinavia. Nice. Slightly off the centre line as a result of that beauty shot, but I'm sure you can all forgive me. So auto throttle and all the good stuff is armed. We've got VNAV and LNAV. That's going to look after me. Got our course in, we've got our IAS max speed. Okay, we're just going to get up to this one now, we'll let them know. Gardermo and traffic, Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey will hold short of runway 19 right at Alpha 9.
I'm quite far away, sir, 10 miles away. You may take off if you wish. Thank you.
Thanks very much, still going to hold short just to make sure we've got everything checked up anyway, but thank you for the offer.
Roger.
Okay, here we go then, Alpha 9. That was very loud. I've not turned V-Pilot down on this PC yet. We'll just make sure we hold far enough short of this. Okay, let's hold short here. Parking brake has been set. So, fuel flow will go to reset and then rate. Reset, rate. We then put the central fuel pumps on, which we've already done. Cabin lights are all good, yep. Takeoff data, all smashing. We just need to put our landing lights on and runway turn-offs on. Taxi light's going to stay on for now. Taxi light comes off. We need to put the transponder down here into TA and RA. And then we press TFC and then clock. So TFC, which puts the rings on here for us, and then clock. Got 3 friend requests up here. Swift, Mike, Axel, all friends. So we'll wait. We get an arriving aircraft to come in, which is cool. See if we can see him out the window. But I cannot at this present moment. Hopefully in time we will. Ah, there. Plane. Gardermoen traffic, Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey, lining up runway 19 right. Okay. Little private jet thing that he was in, that's quite cool, isn't it? We'll click clock. Well, actually, no, we'll click that when we wind up for takeoff thrust. Come on, 737. God, it really takes a push.
Gardermoen traffic. Charlie Romeo info Golf, runway bucket. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's click clock and let's get on with it, shall we? Gardermoen traffic, Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey, departing runway 19 right. Wind it up to 50%. Big old runway here at Gardermoen. Let it stabilise for a second while we line up. Let's kick it. Cool. Okay, airspeed's alive. 60 knots. 80 knots. 100 knots. 120. Having to turn to the right slightly. B1. Rotate. Whoa, the aircraft is going way left. What on God's earth was that? Positive rate. Gear up. Wow. Okay. I'm definitely going to change back to TAA anti-aliasing because look at the way the screen is like ghosting and floating around. Don't like that. Okay. Wow, it really wanted to go left. That was a horrible, horrible takeoff. Needs to get down. Horrible, horrible departure as well. Gardermoen traffic, Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey, passing 3,000 feet. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Whoa, it's moving around like a pig. What is happening? I'm going to put the autopilot in. I don't know what is going on there, but it is rocking around like mad. We've got an 18 knot headwind, which is fine, but look at the rudders and stuff. What is it doing? Whoa! Something is not on. Something is not right. Auto throttle wasn't armed for some reason. I'm going to put the flaps up to 1. That was scary. What was that about? It's still buffeting around. It's horrible. Okay, well, we're up. Let's see what the after takeoff checklist is. Positive rate of climb, gear came up, so we're then going to put the gear in the off position. Auto brake comes off. Engine start switches go back into the off position, and we'll take the runway turn-offs off. Landing lights stay on. Okay, all fine and dandy, I think. God, it's shaking around all over the joint. The only thing I can think is I set all this to hard earlier. Did I just set that to easy? No, because no, I don't want that rubbish. No, it's nothing to do with that, is it? It was really... I mean, it's getting battered about. Even now, look. Huge wind buffers. Everywhere. Reset MCP altitude. We're at 7,000 feet already. Oh, I don't want ATC. Shut up. I don't want that. No. What is the plane doing? Is the rudder trim out or something? Have I messed with something down here? The aircraft is having a hard time of it. We want to be on 122.8. Not the bloody game ATC. Master caution. For what? This isn't going well, is it? Right, so what is the departure like? So there's no limitations, is there? No. Let's go up to 370. Keep scrolling. God, you have to scroll for so long. Smash that on. Altitude into beam. Let's climb, please, plane. We are getting thrown around all over the place. We've only got an 18 knot tailwind. I just don't understand what it is. If I go into weather here, yeah, I've got live weather on. It's only a 19 knot tailwind. It's like there's an issue with the refresh rate of the aircraft. I'm just going to sort out my graphics options as well. I want to go back to TAA with the anti-aliasing, just because it looks a lot prettier. This is a lot more crisp look. It's just so weird to be thrown around like that. Beautiful sights out of the window. Ah, okay, yeah. Because we've used the central tanks, we need the landing lights off now. I'm not going to turn the seatbelt signs off, I don't do that. So look, there's no fuel in the centre tanks anymore, so we don't need to use those central pumps. We'd be putting them through strain for no reason. But now we're continuing to climb. Is it behaving itself? Wasn't something that the DLSS thing was doing, was it? Let's go back in the cab and see if the wings are wobbling about like mad again. It seemed to be catching a little bit of a wobble here and there, but yeah, it was like the screen even before was sort of jittering this way and that way. You know what I mean? Like it was as if every so often it was just catching up and now it's nice and smooth. So strange. So very, very strange. Right, we'll keep climbing then, all the way up to 37,000 feet. It's a beautiful day to go flying today by the look of it. I'm very happy with how this is smoothing out now. Need to change over my checklist on here, flip it the other way around. Cracking. Okay, it's just a case of now go through the cruise and then get prepared for it a little bit later. It's a 2-hour 25-minute block time flight, so it's not the shortest flight that I'm going to do, but it's well within the limitations. Thanks once again, Graham Waters, for chartering. Just going to check when our top of descent will be. 11:59 Zulu. It's currently 10:50 Zulu. So got a good hour or so before that, but still got to get to the top of climb first before I can go anywhere. I need to maintain eye contact with the aircraft and ensure it is doing what I need it to do. In terms of ATC, it doesn't look like we've got anything online. Look, ENBR Bergen approach on. Flesland approach for ENBR. I've flown into there actually. It's a really, really cool little flight that. But we're going all the way up here and there's nothing on from what I can see. The tower over at Stockholm. But then down into Europe there's a few ground, tower, delivery and all that. Not much centre on. LGG, GGG centre is on. Athens radar. I've actually just had a flight request or charter come in for going to Greece at one point, which will be quite cool to see. That'll be a while from now, but that's going to be in a good few weeks. Thanks again to everyone that's been throwing these charters in. I'm very grateful for them, and I look forward to completing them all for you. I hope that I can do them at least a little bit of justice, because that takeoff, I don't know what the bloody hell was happening there, but that was shoddy. Okay, approaching 37,000 feet now. Very, very high up, and very high up north as well, here above Norway. Well, actually, no, we're over Sweden now. We're actually over Sweden, then we're going to go over Finland a little bit later when we get to the Tuvlu waypoint, and then when we're descending at that point we'll be basically descending over Finland and then arriving back in Norway. The engines should wind back in just a sec. They're at 100.7 at the moment, so they are really being rinsed of all of their power. It's a bit of a slow, shallow climb at this stage. And there we go, FMC speed and VNAV path. Aircraft shallows out the descent slightly. The engines will slowly wind back. And there you go, look, the engines have wound back a little bit, but not much. Oh, there we go. A little bit more now. As it tries to keep itself at cruising speed. The engines are pretty flat out a lot of the time in the 7.3. I think they remain about 88 usually. 87 to 88. Okay, cruise altitude reached. I'll give you some more beauty shots. I've got an hour and 2 minutes before I get to the top of descent, so yeah, see you in a few. Right then, it is now time to start preparing for our top of descent. We are still 59 miles away from it, but in preparation we need to make sure that we have our ATIS and airport information. I can see that it's 999 HPA at the moment down there at Kirkenes. As you can see there, 09999, reset MCP altitude, so we need to look at the arrival on the way in and see what altitudes we're getting down to. We're going to Draycott at 3,000 feet. We're going to be going, not Vadler, we're Sivnu Kiro. So Kiro, you need to be above 3,000 feet, and then Draycott 3,000 feet. So what we're going to do is go for, well, 3,000 feet, because that's what we're going to be at Draycott. So we're going to change that to 3,000. Cool. And then we need to get in things like the FMC approach speed ref. So we need to go to init ref index approach. We're going to go flaps 40 and 138 knots because I always go flaps 40 in this thing because it doesn't slow down otherwise. We then have to get the localizer frequency and the ILS localizer course. So we need to go to this. Frequency is 110.3, course 233. We'll go this way, 233, and we'll change that on this side as well. And what was it, 110.3 in here. Excuse you. Let's pop that in over this side. To be fair, we can do that. Change that to 3. There you go, boom. Let's check the screens. It's got it 110.3 and 233. 110.3 and 233. That's all golden. Has our squawk code changed? Yes. Why is... Oh, our squawk code must have changed when we went onto the game's ATC earlier on. Okay, that's fine. We need to just make sure everything else just continues to behave itself all the way down there. The aircraft will descend automatically. That's how the 737 works. I'll show you, though, on our map on here how far we're doing. How far we're doing. Jesus Christ. How far we've gone. It's one big run to the Tuvalu waypoint, and we've gone past that now. The next one is Sivnu, and then we're going to go straight over it into Doglo, and then right and then round on our way in. I'll show you on here so you can see, oh god, straight line past Sivnu, and then to Draycott, and then Unden and in. Let's have a look at what stand to choose as well. Oh god, not many. Not many to pick from down there on the ground. Let's go for stand 2-3. I'm going to write that down on my little scratch pad here. To be fair, it's runway 2-3 as well, so stand 2-3 works for me, and we will be getting there via a backtrack because we're in a 737. So we're going to backtrack and then go Bravo. What we can also do in the meantime is reset the QNH. So if I twist this knob up here, you'll see it change down there, and it's 999 that we need to set it to. Wonderful. There you can see actually everything ahead of us. Top of descent is not too far away now, is it not? So we go to init ref. No, descent. 27 nautical miles. Let's get the forecast winds. We forgot about that, didn't we, Chaz? So the aircraft knows what sort of wind we're going to be dealing with on the way down. That helps the descent, so it knows whether it needs to be a bit more aggressive at certain points, or whether it's got a tailwind and it needs to, well, be more aggressive actually. If it's got a headwind, obviously it doesn't need to worry too much. There we go. Okay, what is our current wind? 30 knot tailwind at the moment, so it probably does need to sort itself out for a decent descent. Up here everything's all good. We've got the seatbelt signs on auto for this flight today. I haven't bothered with them. Okay, aircraft will be getting to the top of descent any moment now. 6.5 miles to go. It will wind the engines back, put the nose down, and down we will go. We'll get something come up on here for VNAV. There you go, it's calling me names. And the aircraft is winding the engines back, as you can see. And we are beginning our descent. It makes some great noises as well when it does this, as I always say. So let's give it a listen, shall we? I mean, you can hear it now. Listen to the bass. Just checking this tiny airport that we're going to, and there have only been 17 flights this week, and I'm the only person flying there today. Going through a little bit of cloud now as we descend. It's quite a high layer of cloud, this one. The aircraft's descending brilliantly, very quickly, but it's actually holding a lot of speed, so I'm going to put some speed brakes in. I'm going to bring it out to half on here, 50%, just to provide the drag that the 737 so often needs on a descent, just to help us maintain that decent rate while not going too fast. It's trying to aim for a speed, but I'm actually getting the aircraft underneath that speed, and we are slightly below profile now, so it's working nicely. I'm going to keep the speed brakes in though for now and leave them deployed, because I'd rather be going a bit too slow than too fast, you know what I mean? It's doing FMC speed, but as you can see there, look, we are underneath the speed it's aiming for and slightly underneath the profile that it wants, so I'm happy. Just to show you a little comparison, previously when I flew out of ENGM, we went up this way and went up north to Tromsø, or Tromsø, however you say it. This is where we're going now, and there's Tromsø. Look how much further north we went in that previous flight that I did to Longyearbyen. Incredible, isn't it? All the way up to Svalbard up there. Look at that, we're not even halfway. That's crazy. We've gotten away from a lot of that cloud now, so we've got a bit more of a better view below us. I am actually concerned with how much the aircraft was moving around earlier on, and if it's going to be like that when I get down to flying it myself on the approach, because I really don't know what was causing that. I don't know if it was gusting or if there was just horrible winds, but yeah, the aircraft was absolutely all over the place. Okay, the aircraft is putting engine power in now to maintain that speed, so I'm going to take the speed brakes out. So it doesn't need to put any power in and use fuel to maintain that speed. It's just going to try and float down on its own naturally. Yeah, the engines are almost at completely idle now as it floats down. That's better. It does say though that our bottom of descent is going to be way over there, and we want to really be at it sort of here. Let's check what altitude we intercept the ILS at. We are intercepting at 2,900 feet. So from the VOR at 3,000, we go down to 2,000. Unden is 3,000. Okay. That's fine then, because we're going to get to 3,000 by Dogod, and then Unden will be at 3,000 feet. So then we just tell it 2,900. So we only scroll it down one bit on there, and then we arm the approach and bring it in. Okay, the aircraft has been managing this descent really nicely now. We're still at about the same speed, but we're at 12,500 feet. Very soon the aircraft will want to get down to 250 knots. So what I'm going to do is tell it a little bit early that I want 250 knots. Speed intervene, that's the button you press, Chaz. I'm going to get it down to that with the help of some speed brakes, and we're going to manage the speed for the remainder now. I've got the speed brakes out at 50%. The aircraft will shallow out the descent to make sure it hits 250 before then. You know what, I'm just going to give it full speed brakes. That 27 knot tailwind is not going to be helping. Okay, I'm going to change the range on this now to just 40 miles, maybe even 20, because we can see quite a bit of what's going on. I'm going to turn slightly right here at Sivnu, go to KR8, and then to Kiro. Sorry, KR8 is over there, that's on the way out, that's the go around. We're losing speed now, so we're going to take the speed brakes out. We're going to go below 10,000 feet shortly, so the landing lights are going to come back on. I'm just going to make sure that we pop the seatbelt signs back on and give it a bing bong in there to get everyone sat. Nice and pretty once again around this part of the world, always is. We're not in Tromsø this time though, and it's not constant night time. 250 knots speed at the minute. Aircraft is winding the engines back now. As you can see, it shallowed out the descent for a moment to make sure that we were at that speed, and now it's dropping back down again. Can we tell the aircraft now to go back into managing it itself? How do we get it to do... Ah. There we go. Now the aircraft's done it. Okay, so you just turn that off again. That's nice. So the aircraft, yeah, it's got arm now, so it's armed it, and it's trying to get down to 240 knots. Cool. At the moment, we are probably only about 40 miles, maybe about 30 miles from the airport. So what I want to do is make sure that we've got the course and the frequency and all that in. I want to get the aircraft down to our first flap speed, to be honest, which is 200 knots. I don't want to be going too quickly. It's got 240, but if I put flaps down to 1, will it encourage it to bring it down? Yeah, 209 it's trying to get down to. Has, however, shortened our descent, or lengthened our descent. The aircraft has brought its nose up slightly to drop speed. Maybe a bad decision that, but I'd rather lose the speed now than too late, so we'll stick with it. I've made the call, I've made the decision now anyway. We're way above profile, but when it's got that speed, you'll see that it'll start dropping again. On this screen here, it'll start dropping down. Okay, it's reaching the speed now, it's sorting the trim out for us, and here we go, here's the descent. It's 3,000 or above at Draycott. Unden, we need to be at 3,000, and then tell it 2,900 to get onto the ILS. We'll tell the aircraft, we'll speed intervene and tell it 180, and we'll ask it for some more vertical speed, shall we? So, what are we doing at the moment? 1,400, let's ask it for 1,600. And we'll bring some speed brakes out, just to hold that speed. Trying to manage this piece by piece here, just combine a few things. We've gone over the airfield, but look at all this scenery down here, look at these hills and mountains, it's gorgeous. Okay, so at this point we're going to take the vertical speed out and we'll let the aircraft do that. Get the aircraft to go back into VNAV. Okay, let's see what it's got, shall we? We are below profile now, which is good. Let's go down to flaps 5. Oh, really dropped a chunk of speed there. It suddenly dropped down very quickly. Now the aircraft making its turn at Draycott. Let's just check the checklist, see what order it wants us to do this in. Let's click approach. Get ready for that. It's looking for the localizer and all that. Glide slope alive, gear down. It wants us at flap 15. So 10. And then flap 15. And then in just a moment we'll be telling the aircraft what speed we want out of it. We're going to arm the speed brakes. Auto brakes go to 2. And as far as I know, we're sorted. So let's get in to this wonderful little airfield, shall we, at Kirkenes. It is also known as Høybuktmoen, I think it's called, or Høybuktmoen. Look at the scenery, beautiful. Okay, engine start switch is going to continuous. I'm going to remember that for this time round. We need to just make sure we tell the aircraft what speed we want. We want 2,900. There we go, single CH, it's got the ILS. It is established. Okay, turning in, cannot see the airfield. Where is it? Is it over there? No. Alright, shut up. We'll get the flaps down for you. Okay, it's on the glide slope, so let's put the gear down. Shut it up. 30, no, wrong flaps. 40. Okay, we are established. Let's tell it the speed. It's 138 VAP. God, that noise is annoying, but I suppose it does its job. Oh my god, she is all over the place.
2500.
Absolutely all over the place. Okay, so we've got our auto brakes ready to go. We have our VAP speed at 138. We've got flaps all the way down. We are on the glide slope. The airfield is there. We've got a slight crosswind of 28 knots. Oh dearie me. This is going to get mighty, mighty spicy. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to manage the speed. It's got it at about 60% throttle at the moment. So I'm going to have to try and manage that and fly it to the glide slope and see what we can do. This is going to be a ropey landing, I'm going to tell you that now. This is going to be busy, busy stuff. God, the aircraft is really struggling. Oh, look at the buffeting on that. Whoa, I'm not touching that. What is it doing? Goodness me. Oh my god, we are getting gusts like mad from the left. 30 knot crosswind. The aircraft is absolutely all over the joint trying to keep up with it. Way above our VREF now. I've got to take the autopilot out in a second, try and fly this myself. I'm terrified. Some of these gusts are massive. Wonderful part of the world. Gorgeous looking. I mean, the scenery around here is fantastic. Thanks once again, Graham Waters, for chartering this flight here today. Nordic 5 Golf Whiskey, landing at Kirkenes. Or Kirkenes in Heibuktmoen in Norway. Seems to have stabilised a bit. Still got 29 knot crosswind. Ready?
1000.
Okay. Okay, so we are already dropping below. Just flying to the screen at the moment. My god, I'm fighting it. A little bit above now.
$500. $400. $300.
We're a bit above RV speed and a bit below. That's a big gust there.
Glide slope.
Yep, I know.
Glide slope.
I know, we're way below it.
Glide slope.
We're on our VREF though. God, I'm earning the pennies today.
200.
Okay, looking out the window now.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Come on. There we go. Whoa, it's tipping over. We've had a wing strike. We've had a wing strike. Wow. It tipped over. Oh, come on, auto brakes, do something. Did the wheel brakes not kick in or something until I tapped them? Because they were doing nothing then until I tapped the actual button to brake. Good God. We've had a wing strike. I mean, if we hadn't, I am very confident that we were close. There's no notification of one. Wow. Flaps back up. Speed brakes away. Let's not go off the end of the runway now like this. Welcome to Kirkenes, everybody. Good God. Okay, so we'll put the taxi light on as well as the landing light. Runway turn-offs go on as well. We'll start the APU. Welcome everyone to a very remote airport out in the middle of nowhere. Another very interesting location up here in Norway. We're going to stand 2-3, which is just going to be over on our right hand side behind these trees. It's a very small airport, this one. This is just a little freeware one that I got from Flight Sim TO, so we've just got this one little building here. Actually, ooh, this is Bravo. God, I thought we were going much further down than that. Off at Bravo, so landing lights off, runway turn-offs off, just taxi lights. Let's get GSX on. Parking no suitable. We're going to go ramp 2-3. Aviator. So 2-5, 2-4, 2-3. Okay, before we get in, we'll turn the taxi light off. Press space to make sure we're following the line. Right. Let me just load back in and see what the bloody hell I could have hit there. Oh. That might have something to do with it. That massive pole there. I didn't see that before, did you? Oh, what a moron. I've smacked a pole with my wing. Because the wingspan of the 737-800 is quite big. So if I was on the yellow line, yeah, I was very much likely going to hit that. Oh, I'm so sorry. What a moron. Still, we are now on the ground here, but you can hear the wind. Listen, if we go away from the aircraft, it's ridiculously windy. But look at this tiny, lovely airport in Norway. Great little place. Such a shame that Chaz is a moron and he's crashed into a lighting pole, but I suppose it's part of what makes it charming, I guess. Still, Lima November Golf Mike did us a great job today, actually. In the winds and all the turbulent weather, it was very difficult to get that right. So, yeah, I think she's done okay. Thanks so much, though, to Graham Waters for chartering this one. I'm sorry about the horrific ending there, but I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. There'll be more and more charters coming in the following weeks. Thanks as ever. See you again. Have a great day.